no specific vacuum fixtures that you need to design or manufacture or store or special gasket that you need to lay out. So yeah, Mark, you can tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I used it today, and I have a 12-inch by 18-inch chuck that I try to keep in the machine pretty much all the time, and you can with the DATRON table, and we'll circle back to that. But yeah, I just put that sacrificial layer across the top of the chuck. I had a fairly small piece of aluminum, so I wasn't covering the whole chuck. I could put it anywhere I want on the chuck, probe it, cut the part out, done. It works really, really well.
The other real big benefit of that is the reduced setup time. Because you don't need to set up that specific vacuum chuck, things like that. Something that is probably one of the best reasons to have a DATRON in a job shop is just the flexibility, not having to have elaborate setups, being able to throw something on the vacuum chuck really quickly and just get to making parts. Sort of a good point. The picture we have here in the top left, these parts, I don't know how you were doing them normally if you weren't doing them on a vacuum chuck.
I wasn't doing them on a vacuum chuck, and I'm not sure if we had ever done that part before. If the part had holes in it, then I would put a sacrificial plate of aluminum in the vise. I'd drill and tap those hole locations. I'd put the sheet of material on there. Cut those holes in the material first with the material clamped down, which you can't twist or something like that. Put screws through the holes to hold the parts down, and then go around and profile the outside.
So it's a lot of additional work.
It's a lot of additional work.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably 3 or 4 times the work.
Yep. And you brought this up the other day when we were reviewing this. When you see a job where it's
when I can put it on the vacuum chuck, I'm doing cartwheels. That's what I said. I stand by that statement.
Yep. Especially for the repeat jobs where, so like in this instance, you had not done this part before, but if it was a part you had done before, the old-fashioned method, and now you can apply the vacuum chuck, you're charging the same amount for it.
Yeah, you certainly could.
Yep.
Certainly could, and it's, you know, it's just that much more margin going into the business. We could all use more of that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, you could talk all day about vacuum work holding, but it's another one of the key elements that sort of makes a DATRON is you know, the trifecta vacuum, high-speed spindle, and the MQL system. Those are sort of the cornerstones that we build our company on. There's a lot of other great features, obviously. But the next one I wanted to touch on was probing routines. I'm not a traditional CNC machinist, so I haven't used a Renishaw probe, so I didn't have a basis for comparison compared to like a Haas Renishaw probe compared to our own probe. But you were telling me that it's actually, in some aspects, a whole lot easier if you're doing something sort of elaborate.
It's daunting when you first look at the menu because there's a lot of parameters here. There's a lot of variables that you can use. But once you know it, it's so powerful and it's so nice. You know, where a lot of the times, and we run into this a lot, where we're picking up the center of a part in X and Y, and the part has a hole in it. So the traditional Renishaw routine is built into the Haas. They've got one cycle that'll do X, Y, and Z all in one shot. But Z is going to end up always being in the middle of a part. Whereas the DATRON, there's another variable there that you can offset to where you want your Z hit. So you can either leave it at 0 most of the time, but when you run into those cases where you have to offset for something, it's great to be able to do that.
And it's, when you got the machine, we didn't have our next control. Now we do have our next control, and now probing is even more simplified than that. I'm sure we'll throw a link up, but you can just go to patron-next.com and you can see the probing features that we have built in. I mean, that makes it even easier, especially if you're, a high-mix, short-run production shop where it's constantly changing. You're not doing the same probe cycle twice sometimes, right, where you just want to be able to throw the part on and quickly draw where you're in a probe instead of having to write on the little Renishaw routine.
Yeah, the new system uses the camera see the part on the control, and you can essentially point to where you want the probe. It doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah. So the other thing that you didn't even really take into consideration when you got the machine, I think you got training on it, you're like, that's neat, but I'm probably never going to use it, is RC correction function, or also known as surface profile mapping. And we actually ended up doing a video with you on that because you had a job where it kind of saved you.
Yeah, we had a customer come in with some valve covers for some racing engines that he built, and he wanted to put his logo on them. No big deal, you know, but it's a custom logo. It wasn't a single line font or anything like that. It was a high-end logo.
These were stamped steel, or were they?
Yeah, they were stamped. No, they were aluminum.
Okay.
But they were just some kind of mass-produced, you know, small block Chevy valve cover.
Yeah.
But the, you know, the surface wasn't flat on it, which is okay. You know, we can deal with that. But he had 8 of them, and they were all different.
Yeah.
And you know, when he first brought them in, I said, "Oh yeah, no problem. You know, we'll put that on there. It's going to cost you such and such." And call me in a couple days, and I get the job set up, and I was like, I probably should have thought about this a little bit more. And I started running an indicator over the top. And I was like, oh geez, it's going to be a pain. How am I going to do this? I was like, well, I could put the valve cover in the CMM and essentially reverse engineer that top surface so I could get all those waves, and I could bring that surface into Unigraphics and project my toolpath on. I got to do that 8 times because I did it for every valve cover because they're all different. And then I remembered when we bought the DATRON, Neil was talking about the Z correction field and how cool it was, and I was like, whatever. I've never needed that. We're never going to need that. But again, being a job shop, you just don't know. And tell you what, it was awful nice to have that Z correction field.
Yeah.
I just write one program as if it were flat, use the probe routine to map the surface out, done.
Yeah. So in that case, it totally saved the day, and I mean, you use it since. It's not the one you use the most for the type of work you do,
right.
But there are instances where it's sort of a big deal.
Yeah, we had some other critical jobs come through with some material that wasn't flat enough. We were trying to hold a groove depth to less than 1,000 tolerance, and the surface wasn't flat within the valve, so I was kind of in trouble there. Yeah. I was thinking, well, I could maybe if I get the material extra thick, I could qualify that, but it was super thin stuff, and it might not have actually stayed that flat as I was doing that. So again, we mapped it out with the Z correction field, cut the grooves in, and the parts work fantastic. And now whenever that customer has those things come up, they single source those to us because they know nobody else can really do that.
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, when you get down to it, it's sort of a recurring theme here with any of these features is that it allows you to take on no bid work. You know, if you've been a little bit more keen to the flatness on those valve covers, you easily could have said, no, I don't want this work, and send it elsewhere, and somebody else would have got it. They may have suffered doing it, but it would have been someone else's, you know, that would have been someone else's payday. Right. So just being able to take on that stuff because you're more personal is sort of the recurring theme here with having a DATRON in the job shop. All right, I'm going to go on to the next slide. Work envelope and footprints. Doing okay for time. We will get to questions soon after this. This is about our last slide. So if you want to start firing those off, we have somebody ready fielding questions, and we'll start answering them in a few minutes. Okay, work envelope and footprint. I'm seeing this more and more often. And in your case, was it a big deciding factor, the size?
It was. It absolutely was. We probably wouldn't have gone that route if we didn't have it. It just added so much more flexibility to the machine. I just love the fact that I can keep a vise set up because we do a ton of stuff in a Kurt vise. Yep. You know, so I try and keep that vise in the machine. Yep. Always try and keep that vacuum chuck in there. Yep. And we can do that.
So we got a picture here. It's, let's see, bottom second one from the left. This is actually like a 28-inch piece of, I forget if it's Delrin. Oh, here it is. 28 6 by 18 by 1-inch natural ABS plate, and still have room for a 12 by 18 vacuum chuck on the side. You leave that vacuum chuck set up pretty much all the time.
If I can leave it in there, yeah. I mean, we've taken the vacuum chuck out for, you know, to do really big plates, which you can do in the DATRON. But yeah, you know, I try and keep the vacuum chuck in there. It's just so much more flexibility. I can leave the chuck in there. I could do that particular job there. I can pop my curb vise back in. Do another job in the vise. It's just nice to have all that table space. I mean, look at this.
This one in particular is gigantic. This is about twice the size of the Tim's machine.
It's a ping pong table.
But another good example is the picture right next to it, where you have T-slot tables on the left, vacuum table on the right, 5-axis trunnion up front. You have a 4-axis there as well. So it really means when your whole thing is being rapid, direct to DTM, direct market, you need to be ready for anything at any given moment, and that's sort of the idea with the DATRON, is that it's quick and easy to set up, and you're always ready for what's new. And if you did have to take off, like in this case, this is a slightly different vacuum chuck than what Tim has, but you unbolt it from our conicals here, roll it off, and then you can fold down a vise on these same conicals, and let's say you had position stored to memory, it would be true within a thou. So there's very little work to be done afterwards in terms of not having to tran in a vise or anything like that. So that's the idea. It's just you don't have time to be dinking around, tramming in a vise or something like that. You really just want to get from a design to a part as quickly as possible.
Don't make chips.
Exactly. You're not making money unless you see green on the gantry here. All right, so the other part of it is the small overall footprint of the machine. So I crunched some numbers beforehand because I've always heard this, but I did some digging. So I found a similarly sized Haas, which is the VF3 YT, which is the extra wide travel version of the VF3. That has a fairly similar work envelope or work travel, I should say, compared to an N8 Cube like what Tim has. It's like 40 by 26. Ours is like 40 by 28. The footprint by comparison, and this is going off just sort of the enclosure of the machine. If you add on handle distance, you know, to open things, it would be more for each of them, about equal. But in this case, if we look at just the footprint of the machine, 69 by 69 inch for the M8 Cube versus 102 by 111 inch for the VF3. That's 33 square feet for an M8 Cube versus 78 square feet for a Haas. That leaves enough room for another M8 Cube or 3 DATRON Neos, which I thought was pretty entertaining. I did the numbers too for an ML Cube and a VF8. That's 60 square feet versus 138 square feet. And I just had fun with this. That's enough for one more ML Cube, 2 M8 Cubes, or 6 Neos. So it really comes down to, it's hard to expand your shop. It's easier if you have smaller machines to fit more spindles and make more money. And I think in your instance, you had sort of a similar issue. Before you were looking at our machine, you were looking at DMG.
Yeah, we were looking at a DMG, but really the facility just wouldn't support it. The machine was just so heavy, drew so much power, we were going to have to spend another 10 grand to bring power into the building. And then really the floor was going to be a support issue. The machine was just so heavy. We were looking at cutting out a section of the cement floor, pouring an isolation pad. There was talk that maybe there was an old waste line that ran underneath that floor. And it just turned into a giant can of worms.
And a lot of people will look at a DATRON and they'll ask, oh, you know, it doesn't look too heavy duty, and how much does it weigh, and stuff like that. And they judge it a lot because of the VF3 by comparison. That VF3 probably weighs several tons, where the M8 Cube you have probably weighs about a ton and a half, something like that.
Something like that. You move it around with a pallet jack.
Right.
You need to.
So a lot of people say, oh, well, it's not heavy enough, so it's not a real machine. But sort of like a race car is heavy where it needs to be, and it's light everywhere else. And that's sort of the idea with the DATRON, is that they are much more critical about the masses that really need to have weight based on the spindle that you have, right? Sort of work that we do. So for the small aerospace sort of parts that you work on, you don't need the machine to be that much more massive to be accurate and fast and capable. So that's...
We're not driving a 1-inch drill through a piece of A2 here.
Exactly. So when you get down to it, another reason why Datron's created the job shop, as long as you have the right work for it, it's kind of untouchable in certain areas, but you have to have the right work for it. So yeah.
It's another tool in the toolbox,
Yeah.
basically. You know, I'm glad I have it because when I need it, it just cranks for us.
Yeah. And you still have your Haas.
Still the house, it's still a great machine.
Yeah.
And there are jobs that, you know, when they come in the door, I look at it and I go, you know, that's a Haas job or that's a DATRON job.
Yeah. But you have the flexibility to be able to make that decision.
Yeah.
A lot of people just say it's a Haas job because they only have Haas.
That's what they know.
Yeah. Another really kind of good point that you made the other day is that when we were talking about the Neo is small enough to fit through a standard doorway. So I've been to a job shop before where there was no room left for any more spindles in the shop. And they were considering getting a machine for the office. And a Neo could fulfill that, could fit through a door, so you could actually stick it in an office, and there you go, you have another spindle. But you raised a really good point that you were on like a machinist user forum or something like that.
Yeah, there's one on Facebook, there's a machinist group on Facebook, and somebody had posted a question about, you know, I'd like to start a shop in my garage, and you know, what kind of machine could I get in my garage? Well, you know, with a fairly low ceiling height, the only one that I could think of was the DATRON.
Yep.
You know, my handmade cubicle right in the standard garage.
Yep.
Easy peasy. You know, you
Yep.
could get one of these in the standard garage.
Yep. I've seen a few, especially on Instagram. Hello, Instant Machinist folk. I've seen plenty of people fit a Haas in their garage or like a Brother Speedo or something like that, but usually it means disassembling the whole Z-axis and the tool changer carousel and all of that to squeeze it through and then reassemble all that stuff. And hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, but it's certainly a lot more painful than just pallet jacking the machine into your garage, placing it, and getting into making chips sooner. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, and did we mention no coolant?
Oh yeah, there's no cooling here to do with either, so that's also a bonus. All right, so summary and recap. Just to make it sort of short and sweet, why DATRON in your job shop? And correct, if there's anything I missed, feel free to chime in. Game-changing RPM capability, nearly maintenance-free cooling system, next level vacuum work holding, broad probing capabilities, smaller footprint, and large bed size, so you're prepared for short run and high mix so that you can take on the work that others refuse. And that's sort of where we shine in the market, is filling that void that other machines leave behind.
Yeah, and another cool thing that we should probably talk about that we really didn't is the cutout that I have on the table on the array. You know, a lot of people look at the DATRON, they see a fairly short Z capability in the DATRON, and yeah, you know, we're not cutting pockets that are, you know, 6 or 8 inches deep in the DATRON. It's really not what it's designed for. But we do a lot of boxes and plates and things that sometimes you'll have a fairly large plate that requires some side operations on it. And with the machine that we got with the cutout in the table, we can hang a plate pretty much, you can clamp right to the front of the table, and you can go all the way down to the floor.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, I'd forgotten. But it's actually beneficial. Let's say you have 20 inches of Z travel or clearance on your Haas, for instance. You have a, I don't know, 18-inch tall part, something like that. So you can just barely squeak by, you need to mill something on the end. You're going to be supporting it down at the base. So all the machining you do up here is going to be oscillating that piece of material. So it's going to sound bad. You're going to be running it like an idiot. It's going to look bad. May not be in tolerance. It's going to be a nightmare to set up. But then if you have an M8 cube, for instance, an 18-inch part is no big deal. If you're sitting that thing down into the cutout, you're clamping it down low, or sorry, up high, I should say, where you're machining.
Right where you're machining.
Yeah. So it means less setup time and a better looking part and a more accurate part. Yeah. Completely forgot about that. But it can be sort of another invaluable, you don't think about it until you need it.
You don't think about it, and you don't, I haven't really seen it on any other kind of machine. It would have to be another gantry style machine.
Yeah.
But really, DATRON's the only one I've seen that put that much thought into it.
Yep.
It has a clamping system that you can put right on the front of the table.
Yep. Great. Well, that's it Time for questions. I hope everyone learned a lot, but we are going to field some questions. We have one already. Question for Tim. I don't know who this was from. I don't know, maybe you can shoot me the name. Question for Tim, is the switch over from aluminum, ethanol, MQL to stainless air blast jobs fairly quick? Do you need to take any special caution with respect to making sure ethanol is not present in the cutting area before machining steel?
No, the ethanol evaporates almost immediately during your machining process if you're cutting aluminum with ethanol. But by the time the cycle stops, you reach in there to grab your part, it's clean and dry. There's no trace of ethanol anywhere. Sometimes you can kind of smell ethanol in the air a little bit, but it's not enough to be problematic or cause you any issues there. As far as switching over to steel, it's just a matter of walking around the machine. You pull up on a plunger to depressurize the ethanol tank, and really it takes the Datron maybe 3 or 4 seconds to blow all the ethanol out, and then you've got fresh air. So really, by the time your tool gets to the point where it's going to start cutting your piece of steel, the ethanol is gone from the system. So it really couldn't be any easier.
And there is actually options now. I don't know if it's available when you buy your machine to have a dual tank set up, so that you can switch from one coolant to another. You either have 2 of the same one, or you can switch from ethanol to oil or something like that. Fairly straightforward. Okay. Question was from Ed Kramer. Hey, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, do we have any other questions at this time? All right. If you have any other questions, please contact us through our website, www.datron.com. You can visit us on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, MySpace. I made that joke already last time. Not so funny this time. Or follow me on Instagram at IGSDan, or follow Tim on Instagram at DTMTim. Yeah. Make sure you visit Tim's website, especially if you're in the area. If you need anything done, please go to Datron, so you can do it pretty quickly. That's www.rapiddtm.com. That's all for now. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.